Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast, and be interactive with us. It's easy to do. You can, if you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, then you can click the talkback mic and send us a message that way. Or, of course, you can always email us a voice memo if you want to. You can do that at our website, or, of course, hit us up on Facebook or Instagram, too.
Kylie Kelsey, everybody's favorite NFL wife right now. I say that. She has such a cool life on her own, but Kylie Kelsey, famously married to Jason Kelsey. She hops on the New Heights podcast all the time.
Yes.
She's just one of these.
She lets him go, too, to be himself. And Jason is a certain kind of character.
Right. They're a really good couple. They're just
Yes.
fun. And she's just got a lot of sensibility about her. There's just something about her. She's a great mom. She's a great role model, really. And careful doing that to people because she's also just a girl who married a man she fell in love with. She's living her life. She didn't ask to be in the limelight. But anyway, she was in our Hollywood Outsider this morning because of the whole situation that happened over the weekend. She and Jason were on a date. A fan approached them, a sort of disorderly fan. Hey, can I have a picture? And Kylie nicely said, no, thanks. We're trying to have a date. And the fan young woman became belligerent about it and was like, oh, well, you need to get out of my town. See if you can hear some of this.
Middle of the street. You are. You'll never be allowed in this town. No. You'll never be allowed in this town. Don't be alcohol in your breath. You're embarrassing yourself.
I can smell alcohol in your breath. You're embarrassing yourself. By the way, the longer story here is that Jason was just hanging back watching.
So who was actually shooting the video of that? Was that yet someone else?
So, yes, it was yet someone else. Look, when Jason and Kylie Kelsey are leaving a restaurant, people are shooting video. They're famous. Okay?
Sure.
I wanted to talk about it again a little more because I want to just discuss this. I've never, I don't think I would ever be that way. If I had asked someone for a picture and they declined, I would completely respect it. So this person that was belligerent or whatever, it's hard to understand that. I guess it was that she was under the influence.
It could have been.
It could be, but
It's hard to understand.
To me, the easiest way to understand it is take the celebrity out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you walk up to a stranger that's not a celebrity, ask them if they could take your picture? Then when they tell you no, which they likely would do because they don't know you,
Right.
Correct.
They would freak out. I mean, they would say, no, thank you, and you wouldn't freak out. You shouldn't freak out. But we do with celebrities because we think that, it's a one-sided relationship.
Yes, it is.
We know them, they don't know us.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost like we feel like they belong to us or something.
They owe us.
And they do not.
Nope.
That comes into play so often. I feel like people who are celebrities try to explain that to the public all the time. They try in many ways. Pamela Anderson is one that comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, just because I chose to pose all those years ago doesn't mean you get to own every part of me and that you can steal images of me and then use them.
Right.
Things like that. And that's one of the biggest examples to me is that we don't, just because they give a lot of themselves to us and they're a part of our lives in a one-sided way, Murphy, that's a good way to put it. They don't belong to us.
Yeah.
They just don't.
When Jodi and I were eating lunch one day, this has been a couple of years ago.
Uh-oh.
And you remember this?
No.
So we were in a restaurant in a rural area, and there were only a handful of us in the restaurant.
Oh,
and
yes.
at the table, 2 tables over, was Jessica Lange.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the famous actress.
Yes.
And she was eating with a friend, and
They were talking about a project. You could tell. That was work going on at that table.
Yeah. And so it was fascinating, but we didn't wind up saying hi. We weren't going to interfere. I figure,
Yeah.
You could tell.
She's taking a lunch break. You could tell, right? They wanted to have a private moment. But the waiter made the mistake of asking for an autograph. Yeah. And she said, no, thank you. I'm not
I'm not going to do that. I'm not here to do that.
Right.
And I think it was asked for a picture, maybe.
They
had asked something like that.
It was either a picture or an autograph, one of the two.
Yeah. And that's a part of, and a lot of people would say, well, this is what they're famous. They wanted to be famous. Yes, they did. Some of them didn't want to be famous.
Yeah.
Some of them just wanted to work. When you if you really look down deep into what it is, it's a lot of work to be a performer, to be an entertainer, and you start over all the time. Jessica Lange, every project she's ever done, once it's done, she has to find another one to pay the bills.
Mm-hmm.
It's work. It's a working life.
Yeah.
A lot of celebrities have a certain there are different tiers of it though, because like some of them understand that they have other businesses and they have ways, but there are some people who are famous who are, they're only famous because of the amount of hustle they put in every day.
Also, too, if you're like in that situation with her at the restaurant, and I've had situations like that where I've asked for an autograph or a picture, you wait till a moment. You know, if
Read the
they're
room.
eating, it's like, because at some point, you know, they're going to get up and leave. And if you happen to be leaving at the same time, hey, on the way to the car, hey, can I grab a picture quick?
Right.
No? Okay, great. And my experience with this, I'm going to give you a personal story.
Great.
And it involves Mean Joe Green of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ah, yes. Yes, Sam.
Well, that's a throwback.
who
Way
told
back.
me no, I couldn't have an autograph.
Aw.
When I was a child, I used to go to, you know, the golf tournament and get autographs from the golfers. And when the Super Bowl would come to town, I'd go to the team hotel and get autographs from the players.
Nice.
Okay.
As a child, my dad and mom would bring me. And I went up, and because I saw Mean Joe Green one year when the Steelers were in the Super Bowl. And it's like he's standing there waiting for a taxi with his date, wife, girlfriend, whatever it was. It's like I walk up, excuse me, Mr. Green, can I have an autograph? No, not right now. You know, and I'm thinking of the Coke commercial. It's like, wait, you gave that kid a jersey. But no, I was
Correct.
just like, okay, thank you. And I walked away.
Nice.
And I have asked before to take a picture and I was like, no, not right now. And you just, it's okay.
You accept
well,
it.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
That's you respecting them.
Yeah.
That's you respecting them. Correct.
And there are some like Steve Martin, I know for a fact, he doesn't give autographs.
Oh, is that true?
I think he has a little card now that he gives, like you've been in the presence of Steve Martin or something like that.
That's
if you walk
funny.
up and ask him for an autograph, he won't give you one. It's just,
fine.
but that's their prerogative.
It is their prerogative. It's their life. And it's
you
what
have to
they do
respect
for a
that.
living. It's what they do as work for work. They do understand that there's that part of it. They have to understand it. Either they learn it the hard way or they go in knowing, okay, you know, I will be known everywhere I go. Public life is different for me now. I can't go to Starbucks anymore without it being weird and different. And they either accept it or they, you know.
Yeah, and as the fan, you know, if whether it's an autograph photo or whatever it is, you have to be ready to accept the answer might be no when
Yeah.
you ask, and you know, not wind up in the situation that this lady, who obviously was, you know, under the influence of something, right?
Yeah, it's sad.
You know, reacted negatively and started freaking out in front of Kylie.
I have never asked for a picture or anything like that. Well, I'm not into autographs.
Yeah.
I'm not into I never have asked anyone for an autograph. The only signatures that mean anything to me are my family, you know, mom and dad and our kids, their handwriting. But I do have a few pictures with some people, but it was because it was at one of those sort of events. You know, I've never gone, if I was in the coffee shop and Nicole Kidman walked in after I picked myself up off the floor, I probably would not ask her for anything. But if I was at an event like Keith Urban, I was at a backstage fan meet and greet. I was working it, you know, the whole radio thing, and I was there, and I brought Taylor, and so I have a selfie with him. It's a great little picture.
But it was part of what's going on.
Exactly. I think he took it. He's like, let's take a picture together. I can't do the accent, but it's like, I have that, but I didn't really ask for it, but it was implied because it was an event that was a fan meet and greet.
Yeah, exactly. He
Correct.
was there to do that.
He
which
was
is a
there
totally
to do
different
that. So he
scenario.
came in the room knowing he was never going to tell you no. He was there for that reason. So yeah, that's what happened with Kylie. And it's just, I just wanted to talk about it because they do not belong to us. Even though it feels like they belong to us, celebrities. They don't. They have a right. They reserve the right to say no thank you.
Yeah, and that will continue to be a thing because we've all seen video outtakes of Tom Hanks and, you know, getting frustrated with somebody, you know, getting in the way
Knocking
of his
his
wife
wife
over, right,
Oh,
to,
yeah.
to get to a photo. And,
That's
you know,
personal.
there have been, you know, it's in the world of smartphones now, everybody's going to be getting a video when that moment happens, it seems.
Yeah. Can you imagine, though? It's something that
No.
we can't imagine when you can't walk from a building to a car 10 steps without, you know, you would crave privacy, I think, like we take for granted our privacy on the daily.
Right.
The fact that I need to decompress every day around lunchtime. You guys know I split my day. I'm here with you guys early for a long time, and I literally, when I can, go home, and then I come back. I split my day because I have to have that for my own harmony.
Yeah,
And they don't get
everyone needs
that.
Yeah,
They don't get that at a coffee shop or walking their dog.
It is. It's a trick bag though, because, or I should say, it's a trade off.
Sure.
They're trading that off for the vocation they've chosen.
It's true.
You know what I mean? It really is. It's they elected to, and I'm not saying that's their fault. I'm not saying that they're not entitled to privacy. What I'm saying is, many actors, actresses, and other celebrities understand that.
Sports figures.
And they have an
right.
incredible patience with it. Even if it's just a very, kind, no thanks, not right now, they know to anticipate it because they know that that's part of the drill.
Mm-hmm. Dolly Parton once said that she never would complain, will never complain about the conditions that she's working in or fans because she asked for this. She wanted it.
Yeah.
She wanted it. And I'm sure she doesn't complain. Can you imagine her complaining?
No, not at all.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jody podcast.